All right, so I gave the introduction in the last video. That was part one. Now this is part two. I ran out of space on the camera, man. So I didn't listen to what I said again, but I think I covered the whole introduction. I'm just gonna start up now. So this here is one photo of the Chicago World's Fair. And the idea, okay, the mainstream narrative we're given, the story we're given um, from history in the history books is that this was built to host visitors around the world for the World's Fair and send in Chicago, where they were going to show new innovations and inventions. Tesla was there showcasing his AC current with the Westinghouse, who was his sponsor, and Edison was there as well. And there's even a photo. Like, I mean, look at these. Look at this building. That's a view from behind that statue. And I just want to show the architecture is what is the red flag with their explanation of what was really going on here. This is like lit. This is how it looked lit up at night. Look how much light is there. That's real Tesla free energy, AC current, alternating current. Um, again, this is like 1893, man. It's all lit up. Uh, let's see. I'm just kind of flipping through Google at random. You guys can research this on your own. Here's another view. Like, look how high up she is. Stuff usually looks smaller in photos, and then when you get to the real location, it looks even bigger. This looks huge to me and gigantic and high up from a photo. Imagine how it looked in the real scene. And supposedly, look, I mean, look at the world. Look, people are like ants compared to this. There's boats on this pool that they constructed. This looks like you're in like Rome or something. You don't build this for a 6 month fair and then tear it down, because that's what we're told. 200 buildings like this were constructed, and it's the real deal, man. It's not like just the front, like on a movie set with some two by fours holding it up and back. No, no, no. It's the real thing, man. Some of the buildings are still there. They left them behind. Like 99% were just torn down and replaced with inferior architecture, just like the box architecture we see now. You know, let me get a little more just to show you guys. And I want to know who buys that story. Look at all this stuff, man. Look at these. I mean, you don't build this for a 6 month expo and then tear it down. This is just part of it. There was 200 buildings all lit up. They had a Ferris wheel. Nobody makes this. This is that statue, like from the front view, looking in back. Look at these arches, man. Look at. I wish it wasn't so blurry, so I get it bigger. You can kind of see people are like ants, man. This is like grandiose. You don't build stuff like that to tear it down. And if you did build it for the event, why not just leave it? Say, man, this is amazing. Why don't we just leave it and we'll occupy this glory and live there like a utopia, man. Look at this building. I mean, look at that. And these are like horse and buggy people. You see the people just kind of moping around there. And so the conspiracy theory. Now I gave you a little bit of the mainstream narrative on this history. The conspiracy theory is that there was already a civilization that existed before us, and they were the ones responsible for building these things. And remember, this isn't only in Chicago. It was in St. Louis. It was in France, Paris, France. It was in San Francisco as well. And okay, so and I might be missing a place or two, but it's the same story that there was a World's Fair. They built these type of buildings and then just tore it down like later. when it was over, and then replaced it with like lousy looking matchbox structures that we have now. You know, I mean, how long did it take to make this? They didn't make this in a year or two. It's not like when you go to a carnival and they have some tents, popcorn, cotton candy, rides for the kids, caramel apples. You go from tent to tent. They bring in the rides and then they move to the next town. That's not what I'm looking at here. This is so, or you know, again, there's a group of people who withhold knowledge from the masses, and they know how to build these things. Maybe they built it quickly with some technique that they don't want to share with the rest of us. They want to keep it secret. And maybe part of the reason they tore down the ancient world, which wasn't so ancient. This was like late 1800s, 1900s. I don't know when it was built, if I'm not going by their narrative. But maybe they had a way to build that they don't want people to know about. And not just building, but just a technology. And the one reason they tear the stuff down is to kind of hide that. Look at this, man. You know, this is like better. This is like you're in Rome, Europe, Italy. This is not America, but it is in America. And these kind of people wander around. They're given the same type of clothing. Just walk around clueless. This guy didn't know how to build it, but they're like introduced to this existing city. Let's see, there was like the Ferris wheel. It was like a gigantic Ferris wheel. Doesn't look that impressive to me in the photos. I'm trying to get some better picture. Let me see. And I want to know what you guys think. Of course, you guys are going to buy the mainstream narrative, but I'd like you to justify it, because it doesn't hold water. Here's that with the Tesla lighting, it's lit up. 1894, all lit up, man. Looks like Las Vegas Strip. Here's that. Well, we saw that. Oh, sheesh. Let me see this building. Look at this one, man. I don't know if we saw that already. Look at this. Look at that. What's going on here? Something fishy's going on. That's what I'm thinking. And you can research on your own the one that was in St. Louis, San Francisco. Equally impressive. Okay, and again, there were 200 structures like this built. I'm not making that up. That's in the books, man. You guys don't believe me? Look it up. Look it up yourself. But this is America. Okay. These type of and then, you know, these type of buildings are like all over the world. But I want to just focus on the World's Fair, because they can just say, you know, they brought in the good architects from Europe, and that's why China's White House looks like that. Look it up. South America, Canada, India. I know they were a colony, but China and Japan, why did their government buildings all look like that? It's like a one world system. And they present it to us as though there's many different nations and countries, and they're all kind of there's little tensions among them, but they're trying their best to get along, and a war breaks out once in a while. No, I'm not buying this. There's a one world system, and it presents itself to the common people as something different. And I don't know why they even have to hide from us. I don't have all the answers, because they have so much power. They could just do what they want, you know. I'm not here to like explain how or who or why, but again, just what, who, what, when, where, why, how. Well, I'm just looking at what. I don't know when, I don't know who, I don't know why, I don't know where, but I know what and where. It's all over the world. I mean, look at that, man. You don't build that for a 6-month fair and then tear it all down. None of that stuff's there anymore. It's replaced with junk. Why would you do that? Makes no sense. Those are glorious. All right, well, I yapped enough. I want to hear what you guys think. Try to convince me that the mainstream version of this, what really happened here, is true. I'm not buying it. Fountains too, you know. All right.